Hello, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hello, hello. How are you today? Good? All right. Excellent. Let's wait just one more minute, guys, for the other students to connect to our class. And then we will start checking the attendance and we'll start the class today. All right, guys, let's begin our class today by checking the attendance. Allow me just a moment and we'll start checking the attendance for today. Karen Acevedo.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Santiago Fonseca.
Here, teacher.
Okay. Sergio Gómez. Kiara Martínez.
Present, teacher.
Right. Jorge Moreno.
Present, teacher.
All right. Natalia Navarro.
Present.
All right. Diego Olarte.
Present, teacher.
All right. Manuela Ortiz. Manuela Ortiz. Joan Pavón.
Teacher, I'm here.
All right, Manuela. Joan Sebastián Pavón. Beatriz Pedraza.
Present, teacher.
All right. Hamilton Peña.
Present, miss.
Okay. Xiomara Rincón.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Jessica Ríos.
Present, teacher.
Okay. Catherine Rodríguez. Catherine.
Miss?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
present, I'm here.
All right. Marlon Sánchez.
Present, teacher.
All right. Mendy Santa.
Present, teacher.
All right. Manuel Sepúlveda.
Present, teacher.
Okay. María Alejandra Vega.
Present, teacher.
All right. And Vanessa Zambrano.
Present, teacher.
All right. Very good. Let's see, Sergio. Are you here?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, hello, all right. And we're missing Joan, I think. Only Joan for now. All right, guys, let's start. Let's start with our class for today. Let me show you the agenda before we begin. So first, we're going to have a short discussion. I want to hear your opinion, your ideas about the topic before we start the reading and speaking activity, the speaking practice. Then we're going to study some vocabulary for Unit 6, which are adverbs for telling stories. And finally, we have a practice that you're going to do in groups, right? So this is the agenda for today. So you were working on Unit 6, pages 58 and 59. Today, we will discuss the topics on page 60 and 61. So here we have, this is a text called It Really Happened to Me. So before we start reading and going into the activities from the book, I want to hear your opinions or your ideas on this matter. So I'm going to ask you.
What page, teacher?
60 and 61. So
Okay,
for now, we are just going to answer this question. So you know the Titanic movie is based on a true story, right? You know that this was a real ship that sank in the ocean. They had the accident. So this is an inspired movie about the real event. So I want you to answer this question. I'm going to send you the link. About any other movies, disaster movies based on real events. All right, if you don't know any, maybe you go online and find some examples and write them on the chart, right? On the question. Now, Diego, write it on the link to answer the question so we can see them all together. All right. So look at the poster. Can you think of any other disaster movies based on real events? 127 Days. What is this movie about? Let's see. Is days or hours? ¿No es 127 horas?
Hours, yeah.
Yeah, 127 hours. This is, Aaron Ralston, yeah. A mount climbing that cuts his arm. I see, I heard about this movie. Okay, Pearl Harbor is also inspired for a real event. Flight. Estación Zombie, I haven't heard about this. What do you mean? Can you explain?
Teacher, this is a movie in Netflix with the before the beginning in pandemic. It's similar a pandemic.
I understand.
Very similar.
Like a virus, unknown virus. Oh, I see. Interesting. What else? But remember, we are talking about disaster or tragedy movies based on a real event, right? Resident Evil? Resident Evil, what do you mean? This is not real. About what do you mean, the virus, like COVID, or what? I don't understand. Oh yeah, the grave of the fireflies. In English, is this the name?
Teacher,
Mhm.
in Spanish es tumba de las luciérnagas.
Yes, in
but
English, yeah, in English is grave of the fireflies. Yes, it's the same name. All right, have you seen this movie, guys? The other students, have you
No,
heard about this
teacher.
movie?
No,
La tumba
never.
de las luciérnagas. Oh,
No.
it's a very an excellent movie. Maybe how can we say, like anime? Yeah, would you say? It's about the World War II, de la Segunda Guerra Mundial, how it affected people in Japan. So it's a very sad movie for me. It was very sad. I cried a little bit.
Okay, teacher.
Movie. You can see it. It's very, you can watch it. It's very good. What else do we have? World Trade Center. The Impossible. What is The Impossible? Can you explain who wrote this? The Impossible movie.
That is a good movie about the tsunami.
Ah, yes, about tsunami. Inspired in tsunami in Thailand. Yes.
Yes, in 2004.
Mm-hmm. What else? Okay, I think no more. Oh yes, Hamilton, Schindler's List. This is terrible. Terrible, sad movies. Hacksaw Ridge, what is this? Hacksaw Ridge. I'm looking at it. It's
teacher,
about,
and sorry,
no, continue, go ahead.
light is beautiful also.
La vida es bella, yes. Also very sad movie. Hacksaw Ridge is about the Second World War, también es de la Segunda Guerra Mundial. Hotel Mumbai, I haven't seen this movie. The Boy in the Striped Pants, yes, El Niño en la Pijama de Rayas. Social Network is not disaster. It's inspired in real life, but it's not about a disaster. All right, guys, very good. So we can see some excellent movies have been inspired by real life events. Okay, so we're going to start our reading and speaking activity. We're going to read the article here about Josh Feld's real life experience of a plane crash. Okay. So before we read, let's look at the picture. We can see here, what can we see in the picture?
I think the movie was interpreted by Tom Hanks, no?
I'm not sure, but we're just talking about the photo. What can we see in the photo?
A plane in the water.
Yes, the plane is in water. People are going out of the plane. And tell me, what do you think Josh thought about as the plane was going down? What do you think he thought about? Or what would you do in this situation if the plane is going down?
I think that they were going to die, maybe.
Yes, he was thinking, oh, I'm going to die here. So what would you
Say
do
a prayer.
in this situation? Yes, maybe say a prayer to God,
Dream.
scream, maybe
Maybe
cry.
they are playing without how do you say gasolina without
Yeah, without gas
combustible
or fuel or
fuel.
gas. Mhm.
Okay.
The airplane. But are you thinking about that? ¿Estamos pensando en eso mientras el avión va bajando? Or what do you think about? Yeah, you think about maybe your family, that you imagine that this is it.
I see maybe I die.
Yeah, you're imagine that you are going to die.
I don't save me.
Yes.
I think always I fly in Bucaramanga, teacher. But the aeropuerto, how do you say aeropuerto?
Airport.
Airport is
Mhm.
very difficult for the pilot.
Yes, for the pilots. Yes,
Pilot.
generally we say landing in Bucaramanga, el aterrizaje, is difficult. Like you always feel the airplane moving a lot because the landing in Bucaramanga it's a bit difficult for the pilots. Mhm.
Means
Right.
I
Mhm.
think that people maybe don't think when they are scared sometimes.
Yes.
Only studying or pray.
Yeah,
Nothing.
maybe you are only praying and yeah, maybe crying, screaming, maybe having a panic attack. Yeah, at this moment, I think. Mm. Just a moment. All right. So now we're going to read about the events, the what happened actually, and we are going to solve point number 3. Read the text and put the events in the correct order here in 1 to 10. Okay, let's read. Start reading and then we answer the question. Before we read, let's read the fact. Es un hecho, it's a fact. Air travel is extraordinarily safe. 95% of people involved in aviation accidents survive. Did you notice that 95% of people involved in aviation accidents survive? So it's extremely, extremely safe to travel by airplane. All right, so let's start reading. Maybe let's begin with Karen Victoria.
Teacher, I start reading.
Yes, please.
Okay. Josh Phelps was on U.S. Airways flights and in 1,000.
We say 1549.
Okay.
Mhm.
1549, and which cross landing in the Hudson River in the New York in January and 29.
Can you repeat here in the Hudson River in
In the Hudson River in New York in
Mhm.
January and 2009.
2009? Yes, 2009. Very good.
Sorry. I
Continue.
was in seat 10F next to the emergency exit. Exit. A few minutes after takeoff, there was a loud explosion. Everybody
Gasped.
gasps, and there were a few screams. Then surprisingly, it went very quiet. Everyone was assessing the situation.
Okay, as I was assessing the situation. All right, continue, Natalia.
Yes.
Continue reading,
Eh,
Natalia. It's soon.
It soon I can. It soon became obvious we weren't going back to La Guardia Airport. We were heading for the water. I started thinking this was it. I thought about my wife, Tessa, and our two children. Then I heard the announcement. This is the captain prize for impact, and everything suddenly got very clear. I have to stop thinking about the diet and start thinking about what it's going to do once the pilot landed in the water. You sat in his seat. I saw you go to get this door open.
You've got to get this door open. Please continue reading, Vanessa.
At about 300 feet and 91.5 meters, I started reading the instruction. There were 6 steps. I read them 2 or 3 times, testing myself on each step and try to imagine myself opening the door. Suddenly, we hit the water. It felt like the worst car crash you could imagine. My first thought was, this plane is
Sinking.
sinking. We have to get everybody off as soon as possible.
Everybody off as soon as possible. Continue reading, Manuel. Somebody.
Sorry, teacher, I'm lost. Somebody.
Somebody next to me.
Oh, someone. Sorry, teacher. Someone next to me was trying to pull the door in, and I said, "No, it's got to go out." Fortunately, it just read that. No, I just read that. I managed to get the door open, and I grabbed the hand of a woman sitting next to me. We walked out onto the wing, which was sinking lower and lower. We walked as far as long as we could to make room for other people. Everyone was helping each other. It was freezing and nobody had a jacket. Some people were underwater to their waists.
Yes, some people were underwater to their waists. The last part of the text, let's read Kiara.
It felt like half an hour before we saw the first ferry. Also, it can have been only 5 or 10 minutes. I was forced onto the ferry and I started helping people onto the boat. Fortunately, everyone had survived the crash.
Right, good. And the last part, maybe Hamilton. No, Hamilton, ¿ya leíste? I don't remember.
No, teacher.
Okay, so continue. I go through.
I got through it by taking it one step at a time. Get the door open, throw the door out, figure out if you are sinking. I just keep on doing that until I reach solid ground. Only then did it go into the men's room and cry for a few minutes.
And cry for a few minutes. All right, guys, let's read the text one more time, little by little. And if you have questions about vocabulary, let me know. Josh Phelps was on US Airways flight for 1549, which crash landed in the Hudson River in New York in January 2009. I was in seat 10F. next to the emergency exit. A few minutes after takeoff, do you know what is takeoff?
No.
Like
Apagar.
the plane takes off.
Despegar.
Yeah. After minutes after takeoff, where is it? There was a loud explosion. It's loud.
Como fuerte explosión o un
Yes,
ruido.
ruidosa, loud explosion. Everybody gasped, and there were a few screams. Do you know what is gasped?
No, miss.
No.
It's like asustado, como una reacción.
Yes, I will show you this image is very funny to me. It's the definition of gasp, right? You can see. All right, like this is a gasp. In Spanish, how can we say this?
Sorprendido.
Asombrado.
Asustado.
Yes,
Pero, tal vez.
it's not the feeling, but the action. No es el sentimiento, sino esta acción. Like,
Asustado, sorprendido.
como, es que en español sería como jadear, no sé, es un sonido, no es el sentimiento, es la acción, ¿no? Hacer el,
Como
O sea, la
quejarse.
acción de abrir la boca.
eso. Yes,
Como que-
exactly.
Como
So
suspirar, profe.
the translation is like in Spanish the translator says jadear, like
Ajá.
do this action with your mouth, like you're very shocked.
Teacher
is
is
gasp.
like quedó boquiabierto.
Not quite. This is one of the words, like in Spanish we don't have the translation. Esta es una de las palabras que en español no tenemos la traducción exactamente, pero sí sabemos cuál acción es, ¿no? For example, if you are very surprised or scared, you do this. This is gasp. All right? Okay, then a few gasps. Everybody gasped, and there were a few screams, algunos gritos. Then surprisingly, it went very quiet. Everyone was quiet. Everyone was assessing the situation. What is assessing?
What is the meaning of assessing, teacher?
Yeah. Assessing is synonym of evaluation or evaluating. Right? Everyone was assessing the situation. Todos estaban evaluando la situación. It soon became obvious that we weren't going back to LaGuardia Airport. Es uno de los aeropuertos de Nueva York, LaGuardia Airport. We were heading for the water. What is heading for? We were heading for the water. What do you understand? For this.
Como que nos dirigíamos a la...
Yes,
Flotando.
exactly. Nos dirigíamos al agua. We were heading for the water. I started thinking that was it. If you say this, I think this is it. What do you understand in this sentence? He started thinking that this was it.
Estaba pensando en que eso había sido todo o que estaba
Yes,
pasando.
exactly.
que se había
Like this
acabado,
is
¿no?
the end of my life. If I say, all right, this is it. Like it's the end of my life, right? It's finished. He thought about
Como
his
esto
wife.
fue todo, aquí me morí.
Yes, exactly.
Hasta
like
aquí
this.
me dio.
Hasta aquí llegué. This was it. I thought about
San
my
Pedro, aquí
wife,
voy.
his wife Tessa, and our 2 children. Then I heard the announcement. This is the
The meaning
captain.
announcement, teacher.
Announcement. So the captain talks to the microphone and he makes an announcement.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
like
Yes.
announcement. Yeah. This is the captain. Brace for impact. Do you know what is brace?
Prepárense, como preparándose
Yes.
para el impacto.
Like brace for the impact. Prepárense para el impacto. Brace for impact. And everything suddenly got very clear. Todo, de repente, suddenly, se aclaró. Todo se puso claro. I had to stop thinking about death and start thinking about what I was going to do once the pilot landed in the water. Entonces, él dejó de pensar en su muerte y pensar en qué iba a hacer una vez el piloto aterrizara en el agua. Aterrizara. Bueno, landed in the water. You sat in his seat. You sat in this seat, I thought. You've got to get this door open. Él pensó para sí. Estás en este asiento, debes abrir la puerta. Remember, he was in the emergency exit, right? So let's continue. At about 300 feet, 91.5 meters, 91 metros, I started reading the instructions. There were 6 steps. I read them 2 or 3 times, testing myself on each step and trying to imagine myself opening the door. So he's reading the steps and imagining himself opening the door. Suddenly, we hit the water. It felt like the worst car crash you could imagine. My first thought was, the plane is sinking. What is sinking?
No me idea.
Hundirse.
Yes, of
Yo lo que
course.
entiendo es que se estaba como hundiendo.
Yes, the plane is slowly sinking. Hundiendo en el agua. We have to get everybody off. To get somebody off. It's like
Como que todo
bajar.
el mundo se vaya.
Yes, que todo el mundo se baje del avión. Everybody get off as soon as possible. Someone next to me was trying to pull the door in. And I said, no, it has got to go out. So a person was pulling the door in. Alguien estaba jalando la puerta hacia adentro. He said, no, the door has got to go out, right? Outside. Fortunately, I had just read that. I managed to get the door open. What is managed in this example? I managed to get the door open.
Manipular.
Like logré, I managed. I managed.
Lograr.
O me las arreglé para abrir la puerta. Sería
para
like,
arreglar.
I managed, me las arreglé o logré abrir la puerta to get the door open. And I grabbed the hand of a woman sitting next to me. I grabbed. What is this? Grabbed.
Agarrar.
Grabbed the hand of a woman sitting next to me. We walked out onto the wing. Caminaron afuera hacia el ala del avión, onto the wing, which was sinking lower and lower. We walked as far along as we could, tan lejos como pudieron en el ala, ¿no? As far along, to make room for other people. Everyone was helping each other. It was freezing and nobody had a jacket. Some people were underwater to their waists. Algunos estaban bajo el agua hasta su cintura, waist, right? It felt like a half an hour before we saw the first ferry. Remember what is ferry?
Sí, barquitos de rescate, bueno, eso.
No, ferry.
Es como esos que llevan también autos que pasan
Yes.
de un lugar a otro.
These big boats.
Un crucero.
No, it's not a cruise. It's
Donde
ferry.
se hacen los viajes de...
Un crucero es diferente a un ferry. Un ferry es para eso, carga.
Un puerto de
Generalmente.
mercancía.
Yeah, cargo. Ferry. Although it had been only 5 or 10 minutes, I was fourth onto the ferry. Se montó de cuarto en el ferry. I started helping people onto the boat. Fortunately, everybody had survived the crash. I got through it. What is this? I got through it, but taking it one step at a time. You understand?
Como atravesar.
Yes.
Sí, abrir paso.
So. In this case, atravesar sería como yo superé. I got through it, como superé esta situación. Sí, atravesé esta situación. Taking it one step at a time. Lo superé o lo pude hacer tomándolo un paso a la vez. One step at a time. Get the door open.
Oh, superé.
Yeah, superar. Yeah, throw the door out. Figure out if you are sinking. What is figure out? Remember, we have talked about this. Like figure out.
Asumiendo.
No. Descifrar o resolver, figure out. Figure out if we're sinking. Descifrar si nos estamos hundiendo. I just kept on doing, continué haciendo, kept on doing that until I reached solid ground. Entonces él continuó paso a paso hasta que llegó a la tierra firme, solid ground. Only then did I go into the men's room and cry for a few minutes. Okay, so this is the story about how they survived the plane crash. Now you're going to organize these sentences in point number 3. If you need to read the text one more time to organize them in the correct order, 1 to 10. We have number 1 already. An explosion happened not long after they had taken off.
Miss, the name of this movie and the flight crash is Sally.
All right. I didn't know this. Interesting to watch the movie. All right, guys. So let's organize all the sentences, the events, 1 to 10. Let's have some minutes and then we will check together. Let me know when you finish, guys, so we can check together. You can write done on the chat. All right, guys, I think you are ready. You already finished. So let's begin checking. Number one is an explosion happened not long after they had taken off. What's number two? For example, Jorge, can you read number two?
Yes, teacher. Everyone was silent for a while.
Yes, everyone was silent for a while. Number three, Manuel. I'm going to show you the answers and we will read them. Manuel, can you read number three? Sorry, we were incorrect. Number two is some of the passengers screamed. Number three is everyone was silent for a while. Manuel, can you read number four?
Then I think the captain made an announcement.
Yes, the captain made an announcement. Maria, can you read number five?
Just read the emergency information.
Yes. Number six, Marla?
The plane crashed into the water.
Yes, the plane crashed into the water. Mandy, number seven? Mandy? Or, yeah. Mandy?
Teacher, excuse me, I am walking by the street.
Okay. Jessica, number seven, can you please read?
Just open the door and go out of the plane.
Very good. Number eight, Xiomara?
Yes, the passengers went out on the wing of the plane.
Yes. Number 9, Sergio.
A ferry arrived to rescue the passenger.
Yes, very good. And Manuela, number 10, the last one.
Teacher, just cry.
Yes, Josh cried. That was the last thing that he did. All right, very good. So before we continue, let's take a look at the questions here, the discussion questions over here. What technique did Josh use to survive the crash? Tell me, do you remember what was his technique to survive and go through the accident, the crash? Remember, what did he do?
He read the emergency instructions.
Emergency instructions, yes. This is part of it. Eso fue parte de su estrategia, de su técnica. But what did he do in general to go through all the accident and help other people? Remember what is in the text? Or no? No? So the technique that he used was taking one step at a time. Tomarlo un paso a la vez, no? First, open the door, then throw the door, keep helping people to get out, to get on the boat. So everything was just step by step. He was not scared or nervous, but he focused step by step into surviving this situation, right? Excellent, guys, very good. So pay attention now. In the second part of the class, now we did the reading exercise and the discussion part. We are going to study the vocabulary lesson is the adverbs for telling stories. All right, we're going to check the use of adverbs. We have in page 61, we have sentences A and sentences B, okay? So you are going to match the first part of the sentences 1 to 9 to the second part of the sentences with A, B, C, D, E, using, well, the adverbs here. They are usually used in telling stories. Unfortunately, surprisingly, gradually, immediately, suddenly, fortunately, obviously, eventually, thankfully. Okay, so you are going to read it individually. I'm going to give you 7 or 8 minutes to read the sentences and match them. Number 1, 2, 3 with A, B, C, D, or E. Okay. Let's do it individually. Then once you finish, please write it on the chat. And then we will check the answers together.
Teacher, could you let me take a screenshot of each part? Please. Thank you. No, the perfect. Thanks.
All right, guys, I think you are ready to start checking the answers. So let's take a look. Let's begin with the first one. Diego, can you read the sentence number 1 and the option that you selected?
Yes, teacher. 1. The audience were completely silent.
And the option here?
Eventually, I'm not sure, teacher, but eventually they found a piece of evidence to they were looking for.
No, not really. Santiago, tell me. So, first.
The correct option is E. Suddenly, a mobile phone rang and everyone turned it at started.
Yes, exactly. So we have imagine the scene. The audience is completely silent. Todos estaban completamente en silencio. Suddenly, a mobile phone rang and everyone turned, todos se voltearon, everyone turned and stared. Se voltearon a mirar a esta persona, ¿no? Because the mobile phone rang. So number 1 is E. Number 2, Beatriz, let's read the sentence and the option that you selected.
Okay, Mr. Brown was over 80 when she died. Maybe teacher, I don't know, sure. A, unfortunately, she never saw her only grandchild who has born in Australia.
Yes, very good. This is the answer. Number 2 is A. Number 3, maybe Karen.
Yes, teacher, let me see. Number three.
No, I cannot hear. Can you speak up?
¿Me escucha mejor, profe?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
It's better.
And number 3 is the police searched the area for several days. Is the letter H. Eventually, they found the piece of evidence they were looking for.
Yes, good. Eventually, they found the piece of evidence they were looking for. Very good. Hamilton, read number 4, please.
Teacher number 4, I realized if left my purse at home.
Yes, sorry, can you continue? Realize I left my purse at home. And the answer?
Teacher, suddenly a mobile phone rang and everyone turned it.
That one we already used. Este ya lo usamos. Y ya lo usamos.
Yeah.
A and H. So you left, it says you left your mobile phone. I realized, sorry, I realized I left my purse at home. Dejé mi cartera en casa. Mi bolsa.
Obviously, no. I immediately ran over to see if she was all right.
No. Imagine, you left the purse at home, dejé el bolso en casa. So we can say, fortunately, I had my credit card in my pocket. If I left my bag at home, so we have F. 4 is F. Yes, Sergio? Sergio?
Teacher, Fortunately, I had my credit card in my pocket.
Yeah, this is a correct answer for F. I left my bag, my purse at home, but fortunately I had the credit card in my pocket. Okay, continue, please. Natalia, number 5. Natalia?
Teacher, sorry, E is number 4, yes?
4 is F.
F. And E?
E is 1.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Catherine. So can you read number 5?
Yes, miss. As the woman came around the corner, she was knocked off her bicycle by a passing car. I immediately ran over to see if she was all right.
Yes, very good. So the woman was knocked off her bike. I immediately ran to see if she was all right. Yes, Diego?
Can you read number 6, teacher?
All right, thank you.
Robert already loves French food and culture. And surprisingly, too, he's never visited France.
Yes, so he loves French food and the culture. Surprisingly, sorpresivamente, he's never visited France. Nunca ha visitado Francia. Yes. Good. Maybe let's go with Marlon, number 7. Maybe Santiago, number 7.
My sister's family were in a mirror car accident yesterday.
In a mirror? No.
In a minor, sorry. In a minor car accident yesterday. Letter I. Thankfully, they were all okay.
Yes, very good. 7 is letter I. Number 8, maybe Manuela.
Yes, teacher. Hannah found out today that she didn't get that job she applied for. Is G. Obviously, she was very disappointed.
Yes, she was very disappointed. Correct. And the last one, Jessica, can you read it, please? Number 9.
Marine and Laura were great friends at university, and the answer is C. However, they gradually lost touch over the years.
Yes, number 9, C. However, they gradually lost touch over the years. All right, so you can see how we use these adverbs to tell a story, right? We can use it. Unfortunately, what is unfortunately?
Desafortunadamente.
Yes, desafortunadamente. Surprisingly. Sorpresivamente. Gradually. Gradualmente. Very good. Immediately.
Inmediatamente.
Inmediatamente o de inmediato. Yes. Suddenly.
De repente.
De repente. No, de repente. Suddenly. Fortunately. Afortunadamente. Obviously. Obviamente. Eventually. Eventualmente. Yes. And thankfully.
Agradecidamente.
In Spanish, how can we say thankfully?
Como gracias a Dios o
let's see. Thankfully,
seguramente o seguro.
We say
Me agradece.
Pues uno dice como gracias a Dios.
It would be like afortunadamente, like similar. Thankfully, or it's like a synonym to fortunately, right? In Spanish. Sería como un sinónimo de afortunadamente, es a thankful. Okay? This is how we use it in Spanish. All right, guys, listen. So now we are going to have some work in pairs. I wrote these sentences. Give me just a moment. I will open the link and then I will explain what you have to do, okay?
Teacher, a Kahoot?
No, it's a PowerPoint slides.
I missed the Kahoot.
Soon we will have Kahoots, don't worry. Where is it? Over here, just a moment. All right, so we have a writing exercise. Let's, you will work in couples, in pairs. So I will create the groups and pay attention. You are going to write sentences using completing the sentences in a logical way using both adverbs. So we have 4 situations. In total, you have to write 2, 4, 6, 8, right? 8 ideas to complete this sentence or this situation. We have an example over here. My aunt fell down the stairs the other day. Mi tía se cayó por las escaleras el otro día. We have 2 options. Thankfully, she didn't hurt herself. Afortunadamente, ella no se lastimó. She didn't hurt herself. Obviously, she was quite upset. Obviamente, ella estaba un poco molesta por eso. O, sí, como, sería como molesta o afectada por eso. She was quite upset, right? So you have 2 options in each situation. Unfortunately, surprisingly, immediately, surprisingly, gradually, eventually, or eventually and fortunately, okay? So I want you to complete the sentences as you are going to work in groups, so you can do 4 and 4. So divide the work in your group, okay? You will have maybe 10, 15 minutes maximum to work on this. Then you come back and we will check the answer as a group, okay? We will read your sentences in the group. All right? Any questions about what we have to do?
No questions.
No, miss.
All right, good guys. So let's go and start our activity. Is someone from 2 devices connected from different devices today?
Yes, teacher.
Who is? John? Okay.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, okay. Anyone else? No more? Okay. Let me create the groups. Okay, guys, so listen, as soon as you finish your sentences, please come back to the main room, to the main group, so we can have some time at the end to socialize the answers. You can go to your breakout rooms.
Teacher,
Yes, tell me.
teacher, sorry, what is the difference between gradually and eventually?
All right, so gradually means like little by little, ¿no? Gradualmente, como poco a poco.
Okay.
And eventually es como ya el resultado al final. Eventualmente,
Okay, teacher.
this happened, okay?
Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Probably, if you think so. Teacher, we are doing the sentences.
All right, perfect. No problem.
for
Creo
them.
que es about looking for. No, mentiras.
Ajá.
I
Jaime,
feel sorry.
tenemos una pregunta.
Yes, tell me.
Cuando tú piensas en una dieta, ¿en qué piensas? ¿En ganar
Ah,
un de peso? Tenemos una cuestión acá muy seria.
What is the question?
When you think about a diet, what do you think?
Lose weight.
Lose weight, yeah.
very common people.
Because Santiago is looking for, how do you say,
Got it.
ganar?
Gain
Gain
weight.
Gain weight, yes.
Yeah, I would say in general, overall, diets are for losing the weight.
Nosotros pusimos, unfortunately, he hasn't got weight.
He hasn't got,
como para decir,
he hasn't lost much weight, no ha perdido mucho peso. He hasn't lost much weight.
Dieta no es sinónimo de perder peso. Diet is not a synonym of lost weight, please.
No, Santi.
For example, you can say, unfortunately, he's not feeling very well. I don't know. You can change it if you want.
No, es que Sergio piensa que desafortunadamente no ha perdido peso, pero él está comiendo mucho.
It's not
No,
Sergio, it's
desafortunadamente no ha
Santiago.
ganado peso.
Es Santiago, perdón.
Unfortunately, he hasn't got weight, and surprisingly, he is eating five times per week. So in the bodybuilding world, the people, for general, try to get
to
weight.
gain weight, I understand. Gain muscle.
Gain muscle, exactly.
I understand.
Nor grass, nor fat.
And the last one, I spent an hour looking for the missing keys. Eventually, I feel scared or looking for them. Como me sentía asustada, preocupada.
Like, I don't know, like eventually, like eventualmente, como, eventually yo en ese ejemplo diría, I spent an hour looking for the missing keys. Eventually, I got tired of looking and sat outside my door. O sea, eventualmente me cansé de buscarlas y me senté en la puerta. Unfortunately, my dad arrived.
My roomie?
Yes.
My playmate.
Arrived and
arrived at home.
Arrived and opened the door. Arrived home.
Right home. And opened the door. Open the door. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm gonna leave the door open. Me quedó mal escrito flatmate.
Yeah, I'm going to another group. I have to go to a different group. Sorry, guys. Hello, guys. Almost finished.
Hello, teacher.
Hello, teacher.
Hello.
Teacher, a question. In the second, dice, bueno, immediately we feel attraction to each other. Obligatoriamente es feel, bueno, feel.
We felt. Sí, porque estamos hablando del pasado. I first met my wife at the party 5 years ago. So, immediately we felt, si como estás hablando de esa situación del pasado, immediately we felt attraction to each other. Yes, it's correct.
Okay, teacher, thank you.
All right. Tell me, hello.
Hi, teacher. About maybe the third one.
Okay.
So can we say in gradually, after gradually, can we say gradually I have become popular? Or maybe became better?
For example, I gradually became popular. Yes, it could be. I became popular. Gradually, I became popular, and
Okay.
eventually I knew many people. Yes.
Okay, so it's better with the past simple.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that was like our questions.
All right, no problem. So have you finished?
I think yes, teacher.
All right, excellent. So you can go back to the main meeting and we will all check together.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Oh, teacher, sorry, one more question.
Yes.
The second one,
Let's see.
I think after surprisingly.
Well, we have been together since then. So if you said that you knew that she was the one, it's not surprising that you have been together ever since, right?
Oh, so,
So
okay, teacher.
sí, digo, inmediatamente supe que ella era la indicada y sorpresivamente hemos estado juntos todos estos años. It's not surprising, right? Because you just, it's like, it doesn't match. Maybe surprisingly, we haven't had many fights, or I don't know. Sorpresivamente no hemos peleado mucho, or I don't know, like something else.
So that should be connected, is what you're saying.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They should be connected. Okay. All right. Good.
Thank you, teacher.
All right.
Bueno.
Sorpresivamente, pues. Hi, teacher.
Hello.
Hi, teacher.
How are you doing?
Teacher, we are finished.
All right. Good. So we will check together.
Okay.
In the main room. Go back, and we will all check together.
Okay,
right?
teacher.
Thank you.
Bueno, salgamos de la sala. Sala de grupos, escuchen.
All right. Have you finished? I think most of you already finished. So let me close the breakout rooms and we will check together. All right, we are waiting for all the other students to join us back in the session. All right. Okay, guys, let's check together your work on the sentences. Let's start with the first group, Karen and Natalia. So can you read your sentences quickly?
Yes, teacher.
Mm-hmm.
The first says, my dad's been in a strict diet for nearly a month. Unfortunately, he has eaten a lot of sweets these days.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, he has decided to continue.
Continue.
Continue. Ay, me perdí.
Sorry.
Continue the diet for more time.
Yeah, continue the diet for more time.
Yes.
All right, yes. The second pair of sentences, please continue, Karen, and then Natalia for 3 and 4. Karen, just read what you wrote, solo lo que tú escribiste.
Okay, immediately I fall in love.
Okay.
Surprisingly, we have 2 children now.
All right, so in this case, immediately sería mejor, I fell in love. Estás hablando de que la conocí hace 5 años, inmediatamente en ese momento, sería I fell in love. All right, Natalia, can you read the other 3 and 4?
Yes, yes. When I came to live here, I didn't know anybody. Gradually, I met some nice neighbors, and eventually, I have good friends here.
Eventually, sorry, Maria, my screen on Zoom was covering your name. Sorry. So Maria, you can read the number 4. So thank you, Natalia. Here we can say eventually I made good friends here. Eventualmente hice buenos amigos acá. Okay. I made good friends here. All right, Maria, number 4. Can you read it, please?
I spent an hour looking for the missing case. Eventually, I found 10 in my bag. Fortunately, I had them lost in the street.
Yes, so eventually I found them in my bag. Fortunately, I hadn't lost them, las llaves, lost them in the street, right? No las había perdido en la calle. All right, thank you, girls, good job. Let's go with the second group. Xiomara, Mendy, and Diego. So Xiomara, you can read number 1, only your answers, okay?
Okay. Unfortunately, he won't be able to have the same dinner because he must keep his diet.
Yes.
Surprisingly, he lost weight.
Yes, but it's not surprisingly. No tiene como la relación no corresponde con las oraciones, ¿no? Si digo, mi papá ha estado en una dieta muy estricta por un mes, no es sorprendente que haya perdido peso, ¿ok? Sí, sería lo contrario. Surprisingly, he hasn't lost much weight, ¿ok? So that is the idea, to match it with the original sentence, logically. Okay, Mandy, can you read the second example?
Yes, teacher. Immediately, we were dancing all night. Surprisingly, she kissed me that night.
All right, yes, it can be immediately. La acción de immediately, entonces generalmente va con el pasado simple. Empezamos a bailar inmediatamente, como es una acción, pues immediately, no sería progresiva, como estuvimos bailando toda la noche, sino empezamos a bailar. Immediately we started dancing, and surprisingly, she kissed me that night. And Diego, can you read the last 2?
Yes, teacher. Gradually, I had been meeting new people. Eventually, I had a lot of friends.
All right, very good. I had been meeting new people. Gradually, I met. El had been, no sería, no es el pasado del pasado. En todo caso, sería el have been. Gradualmente he conocido personas nuevas. ¿Sí? I have been. O eventually, nuevamente, I made a lot of friends. Okay. Hice muchos amigos. And the last one.
Eventually, I found it. Fortunately, I haven't lost. They are in my bag.
Eventually, I found the keys. Aquí sería I found them, found the keys. Fortunately, I haven't lost them. Entonces, acá sería igual, nuevamente. I haven't lost the keys. They are in my bag. Or I didn't lose the keys. They are in my bag. All right. So you can make the necessary adjustments, corrections in the sentences. Next, Kiara and Jessica. Kiara, you can start with the first 1 and 2.
And my dad's been in a strict diet for nearly a month. Unfortunately, he has been very sick. Surprisingly, his glycemia has gone down.
Yes, aquí te faltó el gone. Has gone down. Bajar. Good. The second one.
I first met my wife at a party 5 years ago. Immediately after I broke with my ex-girlfriend. Surprisingly, she don't remember that night.
She doesn't remember that night. All right, next is Jessica. Can you read number 3 and 4?
And number 3, when I came to live here, I didn't know anybody. Gradually, I meet people in the office. Eventually, 2 months later, our friends moved.
All right, so listen, sorry. When we have eventually, we don't use 2 months later, ¿no? Eventualmente 2 meses más tarde, it's like, no, eventualmente ya nos indica que fue después de un tiempo, ¿no? Entonces, eventualmente a friend moved here to this town, okay? Eventualmente. Okay, number 4, Jessica.
Number 4, I spent an hour looking for the missing case. Eventually, I left them in the office. Fortunately, my sister lent my hair.
Okay, in this case, eventually, sería eventualmente me acordé, o sea, o recordé que las dejé en la oficina. No, eventualmente las dejé en la oficina, no. Entonces, las busqué una hora, sería eventually I remembered, I left them in the office, right? I remember. Unfortunately, my sister lent me hers. Okay? Thank you, girls. Let's see, maybe we can do one more. Manuela, Santiago, and Catherine.
Whoever.
Manuela, yeah. You can start, Santiago. Read number 1.
Okay, my dad's been in a strict diet for nearly a month. Unfortunately, he hasn't gained much weight. Surprisingly, he's eating he's eating 5 times per day.
You won the fight, Santiago? Gained or lost? What is this? The lose or the gain weight? Okay, he hasn't gained much weight. He's eating 5 times per day. Okay, good. Manuela, can you read the second one, please?
Yes, teacher. I first met my wife at a party 5 years ago. Immediately, I fell in love. Surprisingly, he also
Surprisingly?
fell in love with me.
Yes,
Single.
okay. Very good. Excellent. And Catherine, number 3? Now, 3 and 4.
Okay, miss. When I come to live here, I didn't know anybody. Gradually, I was meeting people from work. Eventually, they become family.
All right, they became like family for you.
Like family. Okay.
Yes, like they became family is like literally, like you married someone. So they became like family.
Like family. I spent an hour looking for the missing case. Eventually, I got tired of looking for them and I sit down. Fortunately, my flatmate arrived home and opened the door.
Yes, so here it would be in past, arrived, llegó a casa and opened the door. So both would be in past. Okay. El de llegó y abrió la puerta serían en pasadas ambas.
Okay, Miss.
Okay, let's do one more for today. Maybe Joanne and Vanessa.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, go ahead.
My dad's been in a strict diet for nearly a month. Unfortunately, my dad hasn't lost much weight. Surprisingly, my dad has managed to stick to his strict diet for nearly a month.
All right, perfect. Second. Joanne, you continue.
Second, okay. I first met my wife at a party 5 years ago. Immediately, we felt attraction to each other. Surprisingly, she approached me and we started talking.
Yes, very good. We feel attracted to each other. And Vanessa, read number 3 and 4.
3, when I came to live here, I didn't know anybody. Gradually, I started to meet some of my neighbors, my friends. Eventually, I became a part of the community and now have a strong social network in the area. I spent an hour looking for the missing case. Eventually, I was remember the place I possibly lost the case. Fortunately, the case were in the pocket of a pan that I had worn.
All right, good. So remember, when we talk about pants in English, we always talk about pants in plural. No es como en español que decimos un pantalón, en inglés pantalones siempre es plural, ¿no? And a pocket of some pants that I had worn, sería en plural, pants. All right? This is the only thing. All right, so for Manuel and Marlon and Sergio, and well, Sergio and Beatriz and Jorge and Hamilton. Tomorrow at the beginning of our class, we will check the 3 groups first before we start everything, okay? And we'll give you some feedback on it. All right, guys? Thank you for participating. Excellent job. Good night. I will see you tomorrow, okay?
Thank you, teacher.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
teacher.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye, guys.